Mai Shiranui from the King of Fighters and Fatal Fury series and one of the most recognizable characters from fighting games. In combat, Mai uses the Shiranui form of ninjutsu and paper fan as weapon. But how would she perform in real combat? Let's take a look at the young Kunoichi's physics. At 165 centimeters tall and weighing in 48 kilograms, she would fall into the lightest weight class in MMA's strawweight. But depending on the promotion, she could also end up in adding weight up to 48 kilograms. In the IBA, she would be on the borderline between the categories light medium and light flyweight. Mai's physique itself is quite athletic and in good shape, especially her leg muscles and buttocks. I'd say Shiranui's physique is great for physical activity with one exception, and of course it's her huge soul. It's not the secret that such breasts would have caused discomfort even at the stage of training in the gym and would have brought additional back pain during intense workout. Mai may be using a sports bra in her workouts, which limits the amplitude of breast movement, but unfortunately in fights she participates in traditional Japanese clothes and her curves walk freely, which only interferes in the fight. And I'm not even saying that such a chest makes breathing difficult and hits on it feel quite painful. But on SNK Wiki we can read that in fact her large breasts are actually her superpower to distract male attention. Okay, Mai Shiranui's figure can be discussed at length, but let's move on to fighting style. And we can start with her weapons. History knows of the use of fans as weapon, but in Japan they used metal fans to defense. In China there were fans for attack, but they were also made of metal and an additional equipment with metal blades, so that the fan could damage the opponent. The Mai fan is a paper fan and the damage from such a fan is minimal. Without magic it literally wouldn't make any sense. But let's finally get to the main thing, Shiranui fighting style, and we can start with her absolutely mediocre fighting stance. Mai leans forward, showing off her charms to the audience on either sides of her. One of her arms is placed on her waist and the other is simply slung down. In this position, the closest thing she has to her opponent is her head, which is not protected in any way. I think in a real fight it would be the worst stance possible. For the opponent of our ninja, it's enough to make any kick to her head as on a football, or just jab her like a punching bag on a practice. Her long arm punch is a fan poke, which again won't do much damage unless it hits her in the solar plexus. But I think initially it will be more than easy for the opponent to parry this punch, because Mai does it from a fully lowered arm position, which slows down the speed of the punch considerably. With her next punch, Mai does a cartwheel with her fan behind her head, and it's clear that this is even less effective than the first punch. In general, her hand strikes and hand throws all look rather ridiculous and weak, and therefore we will not consider them further, as well as super techniques in which Mai uses fire magic, because unfortunately we don't have fire magic in our world. For more interesting in my arsenal there is Mai Lua de Compassa, a technique from capoeira where the fighter puts his hand on the ground and hits with his back foot from the turn to the head. Now you can see a video where this technique is used to end a fight, but with more experienced opponent and in a larger space this will not be enough. Kunoichi uses a wheel to move around the arena, which would be silly in a real fight but would entertain the audience. Mai also has a good stretching ability which allows her to make kicks to the head. She also uses a lot of low kicks, which are very effective in the ring. And the move I would like to finish with is the Mai Gary Jordan from Karate. Mai hits his enemies with quick upward leg kick 180 degrees. The main difference between an axe kick is that the kick is initially from the bottom up, not from the top down like an axe kick. To summarize, Mai Shiranui has good fitness and plays in leg kick. In the real world, she would make a great fitness influencer, or she could compete in taekwondo competition. Well, all weightlifting we take into into account that she easily throws characters like Animal and King of the Dinosaurs, each of them weighs 120 kg. That's more of a game convention. Unfortunately, if you took away Mai's magic, she'd hardly be any good in real combat, and she certainly wouldn't be able to win a title in her weight class. Which leads us to the conclusion that Mai Shiranui is a bad fighter. Thank you very much for watching. This was my first video on this channel. Write in the comments what I missed or could improve on. All the best. Goodbye. Thank you.